Alright, listen up, because if you're out there playing gigs and you're guilty of even half the things I'm about to cover, people aren't thinking, oh, what a talented musician. They're thinking, who let this amateur on stage? And trust me, once an audience files you under amateur, it's hard to crawl back. This isn't optional advice. This isn't take it or leave it. This is mandatory survival training for anyone who wants to get paid, get rehired, and not clear the room faster than a fire alarm. Because being a pro isn't just about playing the right notes, it's about avoiding the mistakes that make you look like you don't belong up there in the first place. And today, I'm handing you 10 of the worst offenders, from sloppy timing to train wreck endings. The stuff that separates the rookies from the people who actually get booked again. So buckle up, because if you want to make a living doing this, you can't afford to keep making these mistakes. Let's dive in. Number 1, showing up unprepared. Turning up unprepared is the gigging equivalent of showing up to a job interview in your pajamas. You're technically present, but no one's taking you seriously. When you're unprepared, the whole night becomes shaky. The audience might not know exactly what's wrong, but they feel it. Instead of confidence, you radiate panic. Instead of flow, you stumble. And worst of all, the venue staff notice. They don't care how well you shred in your bedroom or even if you've got 20k subs on YouTube. Thank you, by the way. Chuffed about that. They care if you can actually hold a show together. Here's the thing. Everyone forgets lines sometimes, even the biggest names. But pros cover it. They loop a verse, ad-lib or hand it to the crowd like it was always meant to happen. Amateurs apologise into the mic. They giggle nervously and then explain how they usually don't mess this one up. Perfect. Now the whole room's your group counselling circle. Being unprepared is like going on a date and realising halfway through you forgot their name. You might bluff it for a while, but eventually it falls apart. Preparation isn't about being robotic. It's about giving yourself enough muscle memory to survive when things inevitably go sideways. Because they will. The gear will act up, the loudest person in the room will ask for a song you hate, and your brain will do a clean factory reset mid-chorus. Audiences forgive mistakes if you carry on like it's nothing. They don't forgive awkward silences and nervous giggles. If you're prepared, you roll with it and nobody notices. But if you're not, you look like the best man who forgot his speech and his winging knock-knock jokes. Number 2, taking forever to set up. If you want to look like you don't belong on stage, here's the recipe. Take an hour to set up, add in some tangled cables, a dodgy DI box and a few swear words and you've nailed it. Audiences don't understand gear. They don't see complex signal chain. They see a grown adult crawling on the floor like he's lost a contact lens. And the longer it drags on, the more amateur you look. Nothing says amateur like sweating over a ball of tangled cables that look like they were pulled from the bottom of the ocean. Pros are boring about setup. 10 minutes, cables neat, everything tested, ready to roll. Amateurs, they treat it like a public unboxing video. This is my pedal board. Which lead goes where? I need to borrow a power board. Look, nobody cares how fancy your gear is. Streamline your rig. If it takes longer to set up to play the first set, you've done it wrong. Here's a trick. Practice your setup at home. If you can do it in under 20 minutes, strip it down. You don't need every gadget you own. You're not on tour with U2. You're playing for steak night and 2-for-1 lagers. Keep it simple. Number 3, not tuning properly. An out-of-tune instrument is the musical equivalent of spinach in your teeth. Everyone notices and no one tells you until it ruins the whole picture. The audience doesn't know scales, but they know when it's wrong. One string's slightly sharp and the whole song sounds like a bloody cat fight in an alley. You can shred all you like. If it's out of tune, it's just expensive noise. And please, stop blaming the guitar. Oh, it never stays in tune. That's not the guitar's fault, that's your fault. A pro can make a $200 beater sound half decent if it's tuned, and an amateur can make a bloody custom Taylor sound like a lawnmower. People won't remember your clever guitar lick. They'll remember the sound of 2 strings fighting each other like cats in a wheelie bin. And for the love of Hendrix, stop tuning into the mic. Nothing says rookie like subjecting the entire room to plink, plonk, bong. It's not music, it's a farmyard horror. Pros tune silently. Amateurs make the audience share their suffering. Tuning is like brushing your teeth. Nobody claps because you did it, but skip it and everyone regrets it. If you're still here, you must be enjoying this at least a little bit. So hit that like and subscribe. It tells YouTube I'm worth recommending, and it tells me that you'd rather watch me than another skateboarding dog video. Do it now! Because if I have to say smash that button like every other YouTuber, I'll retire from music and start a podcast about lawn care. Number 4, ignoring sound balance. If your mix is off, the gig is off. Too much guitar, buried vocals, booming bass, suddenly the audience isn't enjoying music, they're enduring it. Amateurs think louder equals better. Wrong. Louder equals complaints. Pros know the magic word is balance. Pros get the mix right, the vocals on top, instruments supporting. Amateurs act like the volume knob is a scoreboard. If I turn it up, I win. No, you don't. You just annoy everyone until the bar staff asks you to turn down. And then there's the constant fiddling. Amateurs treat the mixer like it's a Rubik's Cube. Every 30 seconds they're twisting knobs like Jenna Jameson. The pro sets levels at sound check and trusts them. Amateurs look like they're trying to hack into NASA on a stage. Here's the truth. Audiences don't notice a perfect mix, they just enjoy it. But they always notice a bad one because it physically hurts. Too much bass makes their ribs vibrate. Too much treble and suddenly the whole crowd looks like they just smelled a gas leak. You know, if you want to sound pro, balance your sound. If you want to sound amateur, keep punishing people until they leave. Number 5, overusing backing tracks or effects. Backing tracks are like seasoning. Use them well and your set sounds great. But use them too much and you're just drowning everything in barbecue sauce, hoping no one notices the meat is raw. Amateurs lean on tracks until it's basically karaoke with a guitar prop. They strum one chord while the bloody laptop does all the work. It's basically musical catfishing. What you see on stage is not what you're hearing. Effects are the same. Sprinkle a bit of reverb, lovely. Swimming in too much reverb like you fell down a cathedral well, amateur hour. Delay can be cool, too much and you're arguing with your own echo. Pros use them tastefully. Amateurs drown in them, convinced it sounds epic. It doesn't. It sounds like you're hiding. And nothing screams rookie like falling out of sync with your own backing track. That's like losing an argument with yourself. Remember, backing tracks and effects should enhance you, not replace you. Otherwise, you're just karaoke with better excuses. Number 6, sloppy timing. What's the most important part about a joke? The timing. Timing is everything. And I don't mean fashionably late. I mean being able to play in time with the beat instead of making the crowd feel like they're on a bus with square wheels. Amateurs rush, drag, stop, start, and then blame the monitors or the drummer or Mercury in retrograde. Pros blame themselves and then they fix it. They practice with a metronome or a track until timing is just instinct. They know when to push, when to pull back, when to sit in the pocket. Sloppy timing is usually caused by nerves or showing off because of nerves, right? The drummer decides to add fills every 5 seconds, the guitarist shoves a solo where it doesn't belong, and suddenly the groove is collapsed like a dodgy camping chair. Timing is the glue. Without it, the song falls apart. Being out of time is like telling a joke with the punchline in the middle. Nobody laughs, everyone stares, and you're left wishing the floor would open up. Want to look pro? Practice slowly. Record yourself. Yes, it's painful, but so is listening to you fall out of sync every 8 bars. Timing makes you sound seasoned. Loose timing makes you sound seasick. Number 7, clumsy transitions. Nothing kills momentum faster than clumsy transitions. If your gig is a series of songs separated by dead silence, awkward chatter, or page flipping, you've lost the room. Amateurs treat each song like a separate event. Finish, stop, shuffle, talk, tune, start again. Momentum, gone. Audience, gone to the bar or home. Pros keep it flowing. They plan transitions. Sometimes it's a quick joke. Sometimes it's straight into the next track. Sometimes it's a key change that links them together. Whatever it is, it feels seamless. Transitions don't need to be clever. They just need to exist to keep the audience engaged. If you're going from a slow ballad to an up-tempo banger, set it up. All right, let's pick the mood back up. Boom, into it. That's all it takes. Think of your set as like a conversation. If you suddenly stop talking and stare at the ceiling for 30 seconds, it's weird. Music's the same. Flow matters. Rehearse your transitions. Plan them like you plan the songs. Decide how you're going to get from one track to the next. Work out if you're going to talk, count in, or just go straight in. Then stick to it. If you don't plan transitions, your set becomes 12 awkward silences held together by duct tape. Number 8, poor gear management. There's nothing more amateur than running out of strings, batteries, or cables mid-gig. And instead of fixing it quietly, the rookie grabs the mic and announces it like it's a public service alert. Attention everyone, string down. Yeah, cheers mate. We could tell from the bloody awful noise. Pros are prepared. They carry spares for everything. Strings, leads, batteries, power supplies. They keep their cables tidy and test their gear before the show. Problems still happen, but they solve them quickly and quietly. Gear management also means knowing your setup. Amateurs look baffled when something doesn't work. Pros troubleshoot calmly. They check the signal chain, find the issue, fix it, no drama. If you want to look pro, be boring about your gear. Label your cables, pack methodically. Keep spares handy. The audience should never know there was a problem. Number 9, overplaying, filling every gap. Amateurs can't stand silence. They noodle, they solo, they cram fills into every bar. It's like having dinner with someone who never shuts up. At first it's impressive, then it's exhausting. Music needs space, the pauses, the rests, the gaps. That's where the groove breathes. Pros know that. Amateurs treat silence like it owes them money. They fear silence, so they smother it. If you're singing, let the guitar sit back. If you're playing a solo, let it breathe. Don't jam every lick you know in 12 bars. Leave people wanting more, not less. Overplaying screams insecurity. It's basically saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. Underplaying says, I don't need to try that hard. Guess which one looks more professional? Think of music like conversation. If you never shut up, people will tune out. But if you know when to pause, people lean in. Overplaying is basically musical small talk. No one wants more of it. Number 10, forgetting to end cleanly. Few things are as awkward as a band that can't end a song. A half stop, half keep going. Eventually it just fizzles out like a flat soft drink. Or worse, you stop too early. You hit that big chord and hold it for half a second, then bail before the crowd was ready. It's like hanging up the phone in the middle of your own sentence. A strong ending is the bow on the package. It makes the whole song feel polished. A weak ending makes the crowd wonder if you just gave up halfway through. Pros rehearse endings. They make eye contact, they give the nod, and they land together. Amateurs stare at each other like, that's enough, right? Some soloists don't know when to quit. They strum the last line, add a little tag, throw in a random twiddle, strum again for luck, then hesitate like they're buffering. Meanwhile, the audience is stuck in clap limbo. They start, they stop, they clap again. Finally, they give up. You've turned applause into a guessing game. The smart move is to have some default endings in the bank. Big finish, gentle fade, whatever works. Just don't improvise like you're choosing a movie on Netflix. Think of it this way. The ending is the last thing people hear. If you mess it up, it's like blowing the landing in gymnastics. Nobody remembers the flips, just the face plant. That's 10 mistakes that make you look like an amateur. If you've spotted yourself in a few, congratulations. You're human. We've all done it. The difference is whether you fix them or keep blaming the sound guy. See you in the next one. Assuming I remember how to end this video without dragging it on for 10 minutes, like I've done. Amateurs, they treat it like a public bucking